Hi guys, so hopefully you watched the other YouTube video that I posted in Canvas before watching this video. The really cool thing that video does is it gives you a visual representation of the volume formula for pyramids and cones related to just cubes or prisms. So in that video, they're actually showing you this idea of pyramids and cones being 1/3 of the volume of like a cube or another prism. So once I saw those videos and I saw them actually like pouring 3 sets of pyramids into one cube, that kind of reinforces that idea that it only takes 1 out of 3 pyramids to fill up the space of one cube that the same space that one cube of the same base and height would. So that's the only weird thing with pyramids and cubes is now we're using this 1/3, and it doesn't sound as natural as the other volume formulas that we came up with. So hopefully that video helps. But going into this, we have the same variables. The uppercase B is the area of the base, and H is the height of the pyramid itself. So if you look at this diagram, again, we're using this base. The base is typically going to be either a triangle or a rectangle of some sort, so it shouldn't be too hard to find the area of the base now. The only thing that might have some trouble with is finding the height, because we might have to use Pythagorean theorem in some cases with the slant height. Okay, so moving on to number 1, I need my base area. So my base is going to be this, looks like a rectangle below. So how I find the base area of that rectangle is I take the length times the width, so 10 times 11, to get a base area of 110. And then I need my height of the pyramid, and my height is actually given to me here with this dotted line that goes from the center of the base to the apex of the pyramid. So there's my height. And so now all I have to do is plug it into my formula of volume equals 1/3 times 110 times 16. And so the volume of that pyramid is 586.67 inches, and then we're still using volume, so we're going to use cubed as our units. Okay, so really easy. I think the thing that's tripping us up the most with the other problems is trapezoids. We don't like finding the area of trapezoids, which I can understand. Those are probably the hardest. But again, I just found the area of my base, multiplied that by the height of the pyramid, and then oh, I just realized I made a mistake. I put 1/2. It should be 1/3. Sorry, guys. So I multiplied 1/3 by the base area and the height of the pyramid to get 586.67 inches cubed. Okay, you're going to do number 2 for homework or attendance quiz, however you want to think about it. In number 3, looking at number 3, I see my base is actually a square this time. It would be 14 feet all the way around. So my base area is going to be 14 squared, which turns out to be 196 feet squared. Then I need my height. Okay, so my height is not actually given to me. What's given to me is my slant height. So since I have my slant height, I need to think about how I could figure out the actual height of this pyramid. So I'm going to draw this triangle over here. Your slant height is always going to be the hypotenuse. So this dotted line is my hypotenuse in this triangle. So that's going to be 25. Then my height is here. That's what I want to figure out. And then I know the distance across this entire base would be 14 feet, but I only want to go halfway so that I form that perpendicular segment for the height. So I'm gonna go halfway through 14, and so this length would only be 7. And again, that's a right triangle, so I'm gonna use Pythagorean theorem, and I'd have x squared plus 7 squared equals 25 squared. Subtracting 7 squared from 25 squared, I would get x squared equals 576. And then you simply take the square root of both sides to get x equals 24. So I know the height of this pyramid is 24. Okay, now I have everything to plug into my formula. Of volume is 1/3 times the base area times the height of the pyramid to get a total volume of 1,568 feet cubed. Okay, so again, the hardest part of this is realizing that you need to make that height yourself. And again, realizing that it needs to be in the center of the pyramid. So you only want to go halfway across your base. So half of 14 gives me a leg that is 7 feet long. Okay. I think you guys can do number 4 on your own. I am going to give you some notes. With this, you're now dealing with a triangular base. So that's a little bit different in the case that your base isn't going to just be length times width. Your base is going to be 1/2 times the base times the height. So you're going to use, I'm going to highlight, this down here is going to be your base. Okay? Because that's not where the where all the faces are meeting. All the faces are meeting up here at the apex, so that's like your top of the pyramid. The bottom would be down here. Another hint, 10 millimeters is going to be the height of your pyramid, okay? Height of your pyramid. And then 7.5 is going to be the height of your triangle. Okay, so those are two different heights, so make sure you use them in the right formula at the right time. Okay, so 5 is kind of like number 4, but not too much. I mean, it's kind of the same shape, but there's a little bit more to number 5 than there is in number 4. We got to do one more extra step. I'm going to first highlight what our base is. So here is our base. The base is really easy to figure out in pyramids, I think, because it's the one face that is not touching the top of the pyramid. So this would be my top. So my base has to be this face down here. So that means this 19 meters is going from my base to the top of the pyramid. So that's actually my height of the pyramid. Okay, and then I need to find the area of my base. So the area of my base has to be 1/2 times the base side times the height of just that triangle. So looking at my triangle, I have a right angle being formed there. So if I were to draw this right triangle here and just think about finding the area of it, there's my right angle. This side would be 14 meters, and then this side would be 22.1, the diagonal side. My base of the triangle could be 14, and then my height is unknown right now. So I got to figure out what my height is. I can use Pythagorean theorem again to find my height, which I'm going to call x. So I'd have x squared plus 14 squared equals 22.1 squared. I'm going to subtract 14 squared from 22.1 squared to get 292.41. Taking the square root to solve for x, and x is 17.1. Okay, you do not have to do Pythagorean theorem in number 4, so don't freak out and think you're doing something wrong. Number 4 gives you everything that you need. But in this one, now I have everything I need to solve for the base area. So 1/2, my base is 14, times my height I just found is 17.1. And so my base area turns out to be 119.7. And I already have my height of my pyramid, that's here. So I'm going to plug in everything to my formula. So volume is 1/3 times my base of 119.7 times 19. So volume is 758.1 meters cubed. Okay, so those are all the examples that I have for pyramids. I think I picked the 2 easier ones. This one for sure should be an easy one. This one, as soon as you wrap your brain around how this triangle pyramid is oriented, it should be also pretty easy. Moving on to the back. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're not going to do number 6. I just don't feel like it, so we're not doing it. For the back page, we just have some cone problems. We're not going to do number 9. We're only going to do number 7, so you are in luck. Just one more problem to go. Again, this formula was derived in that video I sent you. Again, it has this idea of being only 1/3 of a sphere, or not sphere, a cylinder. So this, if you recall, is the volume of a cylinder. So if we think about cones being only 1/3 of a cylinder, that's why we're multiplying it by 1/3 out in front. So again, we just need our radius and our height of our cone. So the radius would be halfway from the outer ring of the circle to the center. And then the height of the cone should be from the center all the way to the very apex of the cone. Okay, so looking at 7, I'm actually given my radius and I'm given my height. Looks just like that picture. Super duper easy. So I'm just going to plug everything into this formula to get volume equals 1/3 times pi times my radius, which is 9, squared, times my height, which is 17 yards. And plugging that all into my calculator with the pi button, I would get 1,441.99 yards cubed. Okay, you're doing number 8 for your attendance quiz today. Make sure you pay attention to what they give you versus what you need. And that's all I have for today. Good job making it to Friday. Next week, we are going to for sure have a quiz on Wednesday. Let me write this down. Quiz on Wednesday. We're going to do review on Monday and Friday. Not Monday and Friday, Monday and Tuesday. So all of your questions before the quiz will be on those 2 days. I am going to ask you for suggestions on what you like best for review. Some possible answers, more problems, Kahoots, quizzes, video, or conference. It's going to be my other thing. If you answer any of these and you say you want more problems, I really want you to actually do those. Don't just say them just to make me feel better. If you actually want to do a Kahoot, make sure you actually do that Kahoot. Nothing makes me more frustrated is when I put work and effort into stuff and then no one uses it, okay? So let me know what helps you best, and I will try to come up with everything I can over the weekend and best prepare you for this quiz on Wednesday, okay? And after Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I have a semi-fun thing. You guys probably won't think it's fun, but it's not really content-based. It'll just be a fun little activity. And then the last week of school, I'm really going to ask for your guys' input on what else you want to do, because I am open to anything. I've thought about just doing a class-wide Kahoot just on silly things, not even math-related, just something to kind of end the year on a fun, positive note and not so much on just like boring geometry like I know you guys think it is. But let me know what you need for this quiz on Wednesday, and I will talk to you guys later.